have Claire, right? So it's a privilege that yes, we are starting the session for one of the best country of the world, that is UK. So we know that yes, business courses in UK is one of the best courses in any around the world. So whether you talk about management courses or you talk about any business management courses, we have exceptionally well career in UK. So rather than I saying anything else, now I'll hand over the session to Dr. Mark and Claire. So over to you, sir.
Okay, what I will do is share my screen. Okay, I think we can see that, can we?
We can.
Okay, lovely. So what I will do, my name is Mark Crowder. I'm going to talk through some of our postgraduate programs, the 4 MSCs that you can see on the screen here. I'll talk through the course outline, I'll talk through how we put the courses together, what you're going to study, and then I'll hand over to Dr. Claire Bird, who's on the call as well, and she will talk through the BA Business Management top-up. Okay, and I'll change the slides for her just because it's easier that way. I'm not quite sure how the Q&A works, so is there a way we can see the chat live, or will you ask us the questions at the end? How's that going to work?
Yeah, we have a chat wherein the students or participant can ask their question, and maybe with the session we can, or maybe at the end we can answer to their questions.
Yeah, okay, we'll do it at the end. It would be easier, wouldn't it, doing it at the end? Okay, so off we go then. So my name is Mark Crowder. There is my email address there, m.crowder@mmu.ac.uk. The important thing there is to spell my name right. It's got a D in it. The number of people who think my name is Crowther with a TH. So if you send me Crowther with a TH, it won't get to me. So m.crowder with a D at mmu.ac.uk. I'm from the Department of Strategy, Enterprise and Sustainability. And at the moment, I'm acting postgraduate lead for these 4 programs: M.Sc Management, M.Sc Management Consultancy, M.Sc Management Sustainability, and M.Sc Entrepreneurship. Each of these 4 programs has an individual program leader, and we've got their details later on in the presentation. So, why Manchester Met? What's the point? Why should you come here? All 4 of those programs, which I've shown you on the previous slide, all of them are informed by government policy, by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which you can see on the bottom right corner there. I'm not going through them all. You're probably as familiar with them as me, if not more so. In other words, what you study with us actually matters. What you study with us will be directly applicable to the workplace. You will leave your studies armed with the latest thinking. You will leave our studies armed with things that matter for business around the world. M.Sc Management is one of the top 100 programs in the world university rankings. They look at postgraduate. My phone is ringing. Hang on, let me just shut my phone up. Go away, shush. It's one of the top 100 programs in the world university rankings, okay, which means it's an internationally recognized program. So when you come to Manchester Met, you can be sure that you're being taught by a good university with the latest thinking, with a big impact on the world stage. More than that, we are one of 1% of business schools in the whole world, only 1%, who have the triple accreditation: AACSB, EQUIS, and AMBA, AMBA. 5% of universities in the world have one of these, but only 1% of business schools has all 3, and we're one of those. So again, this is international recognition. AMBA is largely American, AACSB is largely American, EQUIS is European. So you can see that we expose our teaching materials for external scrutiny. And these bodies are happy that we're providing good quality teaching. Parts of these courses, notably M.Sc Management and Consultancy, we have extra accreditations by the IOEE, the Institute of Enterprise and Entrepreneurs. So again, this and the last slide hopefully will give you some confidence that you're coming to a good business school. Better than that, an excellent business school. Better than that, a world-leading business school. So if you have any questions about any of this, pop them in the chat and we will answer them later for you. So fly through the 4 postgraduate programs. This is going to be quite quick. I'm going to show you what we teach and give you a flavor of how we teach it. But I'm going to cover 4 programs, so I'm going to do it at 100 miles an hour. Hopefully that will be okay for you. What I'm showing you here and on the next few slides is the model of delivery that we use for a September start. Now, there is also a January entry point. If you wanted to start in January, you're taught exactly the same things, just in a slightly different order. So just for convenience, I've just given you the September start, but there is no difference except the order of delivery. M.Sc management, if we start at the very end, you will end with a big piece of original research. You will end with a dissertation. You will do research on a management topic of your choice. It could be anything. We've had my dad's taxi company before now. We had a student who wanted to look at stress that taxi drivers go through and how that's managed by the organization. If it's related to management, you can basically do it. So whatever interests you, you can write your dissertation on that topic. It's a big piece of individual research. You will have a supervisor to guide you. It's worth 1/3 of your degree. How do we get you ready for that? We get you ready for that in semester 1 and semester 2. That's where we give you the theoretical background that you're going to need in order to complete your dissertation. So you'll be working with me in semester 1, organizational strategy. I'm the unit leader for that. And between September, October, and Christmas, you will be doing organizational strategy, marketing in practice, logistics, and supply chain. You submit assignments in January, then between January and about April, Easter time, you will take an option, you will do finance, and you will do critical inquiry. All of that will give you the background that you need to start your dissertation after Easter. So that's M.Sc management. It's a general management program. It's suitable for people who are interested in management. I don't really know what I want to do in management, but I know I'm interested in management. The other 3 programs are a little bit more focused, a bit more specialized, and are suitable for people who do know what they want to do. So this is the general program. My program, the one that I lead, M.Sc Management and Consultancy, this doesn't end with a dissertation. This ends with a consultancy research project. You will work with a group of students to solve a real problem for a real client. Therefore, this is work experience. This is an experiential piece of work. You are a consultant. Will you be sitting there doing filing? No. You'll be solving whatever they want you to solve. It's a marketing problem. It's an HR problem. It's a finance problem. It's a strategy problem. I can't tell you because it's a real project. This is not something that we artificially create. This is something that a large company will ask you to do, and you will deliver tangible benefits for them. So if you want to be a consultant, this is the program for you rather than M.Sc management. If we're going to send you out to do real work for a real client in semester 3, it might be quite nice if we gave you some practice, wouldn't it? And that's what you have in semester 2, management consultancy. That's still real world experience, but it's much smaller in scale. It's more focused. Your hands are held more. You're guided through the process a lot more. Yeah, but what am I doing? Well, you still need a theoretical background, and so you have the same units that you've just seen on M.Sc management: organizational strategy with me, marketing in practice, logistics, supply chain. Then in semester 2, alongside the consultancy, you'll be doing your option and finance for managers. So work experience is built into this from the beginning. This is a practical rather than a theoretical program. So I know I want to be a consultant. This is probably the program for you. M.Sc Entrepreneurship, the program leader is actually Dr. Bird's husband. Andrew Bird is the program leader for this. If we start at the end again, Entrepreneurship project. This is real work around a business startup. This could be your own organization. You have an idea that you want to start your own business. This will help you to do it. I don't really have a business idea, but I'm interested in developing one. This is the program for you. I want to work with business startups. I don't want to be a startup myself, but I do want to work with business startups. This is the program for you. So again, this has a focus that MSc management doesn't have. MSc management is general. The consultancy one is for consultants. This one is for people interested in business startups. Just the same though as consultancy, it's a real piece of work. This is not a theoretical thing. You will do a real project around some aspect of entrepreneurship. And just like the other programs, we train you in this. So you start off in semester one with entrepreneurial development. What is entrepreneurship anyway? What does it mean? What does it mean for me? What does it mean for my company? What does it mean for my industry? This is the kind of thing you will do in that unit. You will learn about marketing and logistics again. You have an option unit, but this time you have business simulation, creativity to launch. Let's run a practice business. Let's come up with the idea and how can I launch this practice business, this pretend business, because that's going to help me when I come to the final entrepreneurship project. I'll know what I'm doing. It's a safe environment. If it falls apart completely, that's okay, because it's only pretend, it's only a simulation. So hopefully here you can see the focus is very firmly on business startups, whether it's your own or you want to work with business startups. The fourth program, Susanna Mato is your program leader. I've got all these details in a later slide. MSc Management and Sustainability. This is for people who are interested in sustainability. Now that will include financial sustainability. It's not just about the green stuff. Well, it is about the green stuff, trees and grass and planets. But if you're not financially sustainable, how are you going to do all these things that you want to do for the planet? So it looks at sustainability in the round. Again, it's a practical program. It ends again with a sustainability research project, another real piece of work for a real organization, but this one does have a sustainability focus. Again, we guide you and we take you through what does sustainability mean? Well, in semester 2, so between January and Easter, you'll start to look more into the ideas behind sustainability. What does it actually mean socially, ethically, and environmental? Again, it's not just about the green stuff. We look beyond the green stuff as to what sustainability actually means. There's no option on this program because basically you've already chosen your option. You've already said, I'm interested in sustainability. And so by doing that, you can have an extra unit focused on sustainability. So we have MSc Management, which is the general program. I don't really know what I want to do, but I know I want to work in management in some capacity. MSc Management and Consultancy, which is my program, will help you to become a consultant to work with business in the real world. Work experience is built in. You have MSc Entrepreneurship, which is interested in business startups. Maybe you have a business idea of your own. We can help you to develop that business, or you can work with business. And you have this one, MSc Management and Sustainability, which has a clear sustainability focus.
Yeah, so just to sum up for my participants, we are talking about a 1-year master's degree course, which is divided into 3 semesters. So logically, for the first 2 semesters, we are talking about the core subjects, and in the last semester, we are talking about generally the project or maybe consultancy or some research work, right? So my dear friends, this is 4 months each. So 4 into 3 is total. We are talking about 12 months, right, Dr. Mark?
Right, at the moment, this is a 1-year degree.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could come over and study those degrees in 1 year. Or they all have a with internship variant, which turns it into a 2-year degree. Your first year is what I've just shown you. Your second year is a 1-year placement in industry. So you can do MSc Management with internship, MSc Management and Consultancy with internship. There's no difference at all in the taught content. So yes, it's still a 1-year taught element, but your visa would be for 2 years. You would be coming over to do a 2-year degree, and it would say on your certificate, MSc Management and Sustainability with internship. Those internships are normally paid. They can be unpaid. You would normally find your own internship, but we have a team to help you, a placements and internship team, and they have one job, and that's to help you find an internship. So you'll have lots of guidance, lots of help, lots of support. I don't know why that just changed then. Lots of guidance, lots of help, lots of support to find this internship. You will get guidance alongside that. That's a whole separate year. So if you're looking for work experience, you can get it in the program itself, and you could do a second year if that's of interest to you. And then there's a third option. There's something called 100 hours of internship. The 100 hours of internship can happen alongside your 1-year program or alongside your 2-year program. So as well as doing this, you could actually get 100 hours placement alongside your studies in year 1. That gives you yet more work experience. How employable do you become? You have this world-leading program, which has a large practical element, depending which one you're picking. You have work experience built into it if you want with the 100 hours internship. And then you have the year abroad, well, not abroad, but it can be abroad, but the year with internship as well, more work experience. So that's the content of the 1-year program, which is identical to the 2-year program, except you have a year in industry if you want it. You apply for that normally at the start.
Yeah. So generally, my dear friends, in India, we call this as 1 + 1 year. So 1 year of program with 1 year of internship. And as rightly pointed out by Dr. Mark, this could be one of the best thing for you because, apart from your studies, you're also going to get the practical exposure. So it will be 1 + 1 year, and then logically you get a 2 years of work permit visa. So to be very good for you, my dear friends, wherein 1 + 1 year, it really gives you a good chance of final placement also. Right, Dr. Mark?
Normally, you would apply at the start. I either want a 1-year or a 2-year, but it is possible. It's happened all the time. You start on a 2-year. Can I switch back to 1 year? Yes, you can. I start on a 1 year. Can I make it a 2 year? Yes, you can. The only issue from our side is the visa. It makes no difference for the teaching, but you would normally apply beforehand. You would make that decision first, but it's not fixed. You can make those changes. How will you be taught? This is very quick now, the next few slides. This is not an online program. None of these are online programs. You will be in the classroom. You will be expected to attend. Lectures are recorded, tutorials are not recorded. So if you're not there, then you don't get the materials. There's an expectation on your visa anyway about attendance, but actually you need to attend anyway. Otherwise, you're not going to pass this program because it's so practically based. There are no exams on any of these programs. What you have depends on the program, but it might be a presentation, a case study. Maybe it's a simulation, it's a report. Why do we do it this way? Because you go into the real world. Instead of general nonsense on your CV about having good communication skills. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. Well, actually, I've written a report for the board of directors, and as a result, profit increased by 5%. Ooh, that's good, isn't it? And you've done that because you've done a report. You've done a presentation for shareholders, maybe. That's much better on your CV than some general waffle about having good communication skills. So we've designed these assessments because that's what industry told us they need. So again, you'll be experienced when you go into the workplace. Any more questions on that, drop them into the chat and we can deal with them after. Now, your entry requirements. A level 6 qualification. So in the UK, that would mean a bachelor's degree. So BA finance, BA business, BA chemistry, BA whatever. You don't have to have a qualification in business. And I've got a BA chemistry student on my program at the moment. I've got someone with a BA in project management. Normally, we're looking for a 2-2. So depending how it works in India, I'm not really sure. That would be a merit grade. You're looking at 60% or above. We can, by exception, take people onto the program without a first degree, but you need to have good experience. Maybe I don't have a degree, but what I have done is managed my own company for 10 years. Yeah, well, that's good experience. That'll be fine. You'll have no problem there. But you will need to demonstrate what that means. That's for all of the programs, all 4. You will need to have a proficiency in English. It's not an English exam. You don't need to be perfect English, but you do need to be able to make yourselves understood, which we're looking for 6.5 overall on IELTS. with nothing less than 5.5 in any component. This is true of any program in Manchester Metropolitan. This is not something specific to this program. If you want to apply for Manchester Met, that's what we're going to ask for, undergraduate or postgraduate. Fees and funding, I got this off the website today. Home students, which probably you're not, probably, 10,250, international students, 11,500. That's off the website as at today, so I'm assuming that's correct. It says on a different web page, it's somewhere between £16,000 and £18,000. But when you look at the particular courses, this is the figure on the web page for those courses. So I'm assuming that's correct. If you've ever studied at Manchester Met, I think it is if you've ever studied, even if that's 5 years ago, you can get an alumni discount of 10% off those fees. So that will shave £1,750 off your course. There's a postgraduate loan of 11,570. The asterisk means it's assessed in some way. Not everybody gets it. You have to be eligible, and there are eligibility criteria attached to that, and I can't tell you today what they are. So if you want to know what the eligibility criteria are, drop a question in, we will find someone, which won't be me or Claire, and we will get back with the answer for you. That's a postgraduate loan if you started a course, which you are doing, so okay. So that's the fee, £17,500. Yes, there are discounts available.
Dr. Mark, sorry, so this 17,500 is for 1 + 1 year, or it is only for 1 year?
That's for a year.
Okay.
Yeah, that's per year. These are some of the programs, some of the partners we deal with. Can I promise that you'll be working in Disney? No. Can I promise that you'll be working in IBM? No. It just helps to reinforce that what I'm telling you about this being world-leading organization. These are big players. You may have heard about Manchester City Football Club. You may have heard of Walt Disney. You may have heard of Boo-hoo. These are big names. So this is a major program that you're coming onto. It will look good on your CV just for that reason alone. Okay, so that's an example. Now, these are the names. We are recording this, and I'll make the slides available. The 4 programs I've mentioned, M.Sc Management, your program leader is Carmen de Robat. Now, I'm going to ask you to send questions to me because Carmen is off on maternity leave at the moment, and I'm leading the program at the moment. So she will be the program lead from March when she comes back from maternity leave. She is actually the program leader, but you'll be working with me in the short term. So send any questions to me, but there's Carmen's details. M.Sc Management and Consultancy, that's me. That's who's been waffling on at you for 20 minutes. There's my email address again. M.Sc Entrepreneurship is Andrew Bird. There's his email. And Management and Sustainability is Susanna, and that's her email address there. Now, it's up to you. I've got a question mark here. Do you want to ask your questions now, or do you want Dr. Bird to talk through her bits and then ask everything at the end? How do you want that to work?
So, Dr. Mark, there are a few questions, normal, like, do we get placement here for Jan intake? So I suppose, yes, there is no problem for that.
Yes, there's no difference at all. The only difference is in the order of the taught material. Perfect.
Then somebody is asking how many days the university does take to issue offer letter.
I've no idea. I'm not sure if that helps you very much. I really can't answer that question. So that's one that you will post somewhere and we'll get back to you with an answer on that. Claire and I just teach on that. We're not that good on the on the procedures, but we'll find somebody and we'll get back to you with that.
Right. Then somebody's asking, which is the best course having good employability prospects in UK out of this 4?
All of them. It depends what you want to do. If you want employability in consultancy, then go for consultancy. If you want general employability, then you go for M.Sc Management. So all of them are equally as good. It depends on the field that you want to work with.
Okay.
Any other questions at the moment?
These are the relevant questions that we have discussed.
I want to pursue my master's in the business field. If I want to start in January, start. I'm not sure what that question is. There's no problem starting in January if you want to. I don't actually know what that question is. If you can rephrase that, I'll come back to that. Do we get placement? How much scholarship? It doesn't really matter whether you're from India or not. What I've said to you is true for everywhere. So that's what the fees are. That's what the loan is. If there's any detailed questions on finance, we can get back to you with those. M.Sc Operations and Supply Chain Management is not my department. I can't give you much information about that at all. What we can do is get back to you with the names of the program leaders, and we can get their email addresses and you can speak to them directly if you want. What are degree level opportunities at graduation? Well, it's the second highest qualification in the world. It's a master's degree. The only people above you in the whole world are doctors. So it's actually not a degree graduation, it's a master's graduation, if that makes sense to you. So the opportunities are good anyway, because it's a master's level qualification from a top university. I always liken this to a gym. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. Do we make you take the internship? No. Do we make you engage in all of the opportunities that we put your way? No. But obviously, where else are you going to speak to the director of Deloitte, one of the big 4 consultancy companies on my program? She's going to come in and talk to you about graduate opportunities at Deloitte. Am I going to force you to go there? No. So it depends how much effort, how much work you're going to put into this program. The more you engage, then the better your opportunities will be, the stronger your CV will be. I've no idea what the eligibility criteria for the education loan. I don't know. We'll get people to come back to you on that. PhD programs at the university, I did an MBA. We're just starting a DBA this year. So if you quite liked your MBA, we are starting a DBA, if that's the kind of thing that you want to do. PhDs are ongoing. Claire's just got hers, haven't you, Claire? Yay. So we do offer PhDs on pretty much anything that you want to do. All you would do is submit an expression of interest. Then you will submit a research proposal. We will talk that through with you. And when you're ready, you can formally submit your PhD proposal and we can deal with it on that basis. But the best thing to do is have a chat with me or Claire, whoever you're interested in, and we can discuss that offline. But the PhD opportunities are whatever you want them to be, or the DBA if you're interested in the DBA. The deadline for the January 23 intake is something like November. You've got time yet. I can't remember the exact deadline, but it's sometime around November is the deadline for January 23. University will be providing an education loan if you're eligible, and I'm not sure what they are. I don't think accommodation is given, is it, for postgraduate students? I think you need to find that yourself, but again, that's a question we can ask.
Yeah, we've got an accommodations department. Their office will be able to advise, wouldn't they?
When's the right time to apply for September intake? As soon as you get your first degree. So if you have your degree results, apply now. Otherwise, you would get what's called a conditional offer. You will get an offer on the basis, assuming you get a 2-2, then we would like to offer you a place. If you've already got your 2-2, then you can apply. Normally, we would say June, July, August, but the deadline is still open. You can still apply if you're interested in starting in September. Thank you. I don't know. M.Sc in finance, how can I get a job? Again, M.Sc finance is not my department, it's not Claire's department. We can put you in touch with the people from finance. Bachelor of Commerce, can they get an M.Sc management degree? Yes, you can do M.Sc management without, or any of these programs, without anything in management. I say I've got chemistry students, I've got a fashion student starting on consultancy, to their first degree in fashion. There's no prerequisites here. Is that fee? Yes, the fee is internship year as well. What are the courses for undergraduate students? Well, Claire will talk through one of those in a second. And I've mentioned the eligibility criteria, I think, already. So they seem to be the questions there.
Yeah. So just for the, once again, I'll repeat the eligibility criteria. So generally, we are talking about in Indian scenario, 55 to 60%. This is what is required in the bachelor's degree, which is called as 2:2. Second, we require English proficiency test. So if generally we are talking about IELTS, we're talking about 6.5 with no band less than 5.5. So this is the general criteria. Then many of us have asked about the, when till when they can take the admissions in the intake. So generally, as he rightly pointed out, when we are talking about January intake, generally it is by October or November, and we are talking about September intake, generally we are talking about July, right? Then when we talk about accommodation, so generally the not university specifically for masters, but then yes, definitely we can support you for the accommodation services as well as for education loan, right? So I hope, I mean, we have cleared all the doubts. Yes, over to you, Claire.
Just
Okay.
before Claire, I just should point out we have lots of departments to help you. There's an international department who have one job, and that's to work with and help international students. We have a visa department, and their job is to look at visas. We have a finance department. We have accommodation departments. If you need support with anything that you've asked, there's plenty of help available to you. Okay, Claire.
Okay. Thank you very much. So yes, following on from Mark's fantastic presentation, I'm here to talk to you about the Business Administration and Management Level 6 top-up program. So this is your final year of study that you would obtain prior to going to a master's level qualification. I'm based in the same department as Mark, Strategy, Enterprise and Sustainability. So a lot of the subjects and the topics that Mark has mentioned on our specialised master's programmes will be mirrored in what we offer at an undergraduate level. On this top-up programme, it is a great way of gaining some of the foundational skills and the knowledge that you would need to be able to progress onto one of our specialised master's programmes. And I'll talk more in detail about what those subjects are. Like Mark, I am open to taking any questions afterwards, either on the chat, I'll field them as well as Mark did there. But if going forwards, there is a question that you want to ask once this webinar ends, then please do take note of my email address, and I'd be more than happy to respond to any queries or questions that you may have. So if you can go on to the next slide, Mark. So what you will learn studying on business administration and management, we refer to it as BAM, because business administration and management is a little bit of a mouthful. So if I refer to BAM, it's just the common way that we refer to the programme. What we've done is we've designed a one-year programme at level 6 year of study that will help you to gain a real deeper understanding. Sorry, I was just muted. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me okay? Yeah, fantastic. So foundational knowledge of some of the core areas of business and business management. Like our master's programs, we've consulted with current students, former students, with the business community, and particularly for our top-up degree, because we have such a large number of international students coming onto the programme, we've really been alert and open to the global and internationalised aspects of all of the modules that we have. So we ensure that we are looking at things beyond just a UK perspective to really open people's minds and for them to get a better perspective on how business and management operates at an international level. The core subjects that we offer, you will find that there are a lot of similarities to many of the subjects that Mark has already mentioned. And that's why it's a great stepping stone to really prepare you for the master's programs that we offer. So we're interested in strategy, and we have a unit on global strategic management. So like I say, it's not just looking at strategy and how it operates and implemented within the UK, it's looking at it from a global perspective. We've got a unit that looks at the individual within the organisation, and that's called Leadership and Intercultural Communications. In terms of sustainability, we have Responsible Business for People and Planet, and we also have an enterprise unit that looks at enterprise within global context and global communities. One of the first units that you will take is one called Business Cases for Academic Studies. And this is a unique and tailored unit that we've designed for this programme. We recognise that a lot of our students that come onto the top-up programme have got different levels of experience in terms of their academia. And our expectations at our university are quite specific. So this unit's really been designed, and what it helps you to do is to learn about the academic standards that we have at Manchester Metropolitan. But to do that, we look at lots of different business cases. So you're learning about academic skills, but within the context of business, and that's really appropriate for our programme. Like with the Masters, we are open to the fact that you may have specialised interests, either an area that you want to learn more about, an area that you may already have some work experience on, an area that perhaps you're looking to go into employment into. And that's why we offer a range of option units on the programme. So you will only select 2 option units, but there is a suite of different units that are available. And that depends on your particular area of interest. So it might be finance, it might be marketing, it might be psychology of the workplace. And again, linked directly to our master's programs, we have at undergraduate level options around consultancy and entrepreneurship. So if you wanted to try out setting up an actual business within a group, you could take our startup option. If you wanted to engage and gain experience in a consultancy environment, then there's the opportunity for you to do that as well. So it's up to you. We have the core units, but you are able to specialise in a unique area of interest for yourself. Next slide, please, Mark. How you're taught is very similar to the master's programs. We have a mix of lectures, seminars and workshops. You will always have additional independent work that we will expect you to do, and that might be reading, it might be watching videos, it might be completing a worksheet, it might be a site visit to an organisation. But we make sure that there is a range of different ways that you will learn on each particular unit, and that will be appropriate to the topic. In terms of assessment, we have a similar range as on the master's units. We do have some exams that you may take at undergraduate level, none for the core units, but depending on which options that you take, there may be an exam associated with that. But primarily, our top-up is coursework based, and it is a range of assessments, including reports, presentations, blogs, essays, portfolios. So really equipping you with different skills, and we hope that it suits the learning styles of each individual that we have on the programme. I think next slide, please, Mark. In terms of ongoing careers, because it is a question that we do always get asked, and just looking from the questions that Mark fielded, I can see that a lot of you are interested in your next steps already. Of course, we will always promote the master's programs. And like I've said, this top-up is ideal and a perfect step to prepare you for whichever master's program may be of interest. But I just highlight the range of different types of companies that some of our business graduates have gone into. Because it is a very broad subject, business administration and management, that leaves the door open to whatever kind of area of business that you want to pursue. And like the master's program, we've had graduates go on to work for high-profile companies such as Barclays and Visa in a range of different roles that might be related to finance, human resources, marketing, really depending on the type of career that you're trying to forge for yourself. What I will also highlight is that a lot of our students are interested in being the leader, managing and actually creating their own organisation that they're going to work for. And we have a really impressive background of students graduating and actually becoming more entrepreneurial and setting up and running their own business. We've got a lot of support at the university for students or graduates who are setting up their own businesses. So that's business support, it's mentoring, we have lots of workshops, and we have a business incubation unit where students can, for a very small fee, base their businesses while they're at university. So if setting up your own business is something you're interested in whilst you're at university or following your graduation, then that is something that we will be able to help you with. Next slide, please, Mark. Entry requirements, the IELTS requirements, because I know that was one of the questions that we fielded previously, and Mark's already covered those. particularly for this program, we're looking at students who have a level 5 qualification currently, and similar to the masters, with a score of 50% or above. So that might be, depending on what qualification you have, HND, a foundation degree, or an international equivalent, which is probably most appropriate to you guys, that is of a level 5 qualification. Now, this must be in a business-related subject, but by business-related subject, we talk very broadly. So it might be marketing, it might be management, it could be operations, it could be entrepreneurship. If you are wanting to apply and you have any queries about whether your qualification would be considered a business-related subject, then again, I can respond to that for you. The reason we ask for that is just because you're coming in at level 6. So we already expect you to have some grounded knowledge, some understanding of some of the key concepts and terms related to business, so that you can really utilize that final year of study. And like Mark, we have took people onto the program who may not necessarily tick that box in having completed a course in a business-related subject, but maybe as part of your course, which may have been in something different, it might have been something such as events or something more creative. If you've undertook some modules as part of that course that may be business related, then we will be open to that too. So what we're looking for is the knowledge and the experience. We take applications constantly. We have a lot of mature students on our program, so individuals who've decided to take some time away from education and gain some work and some life experience, and they've come back at a later date. We accept applications all the time. And if one final thing to really mention on the entry requirements, if you don't have the educational requirements in terms of the business related subjects, if you have the business experience in terms of employment, if you have worked within an organization and you have the experience, if you've set up your own business, that is also something that we would consider, and we will be open to a conversation and we'll be open to interview you for a place on the course. So I hope all that makes sense. Any questions, just put it into the chat box. I'll be more than happy to answer.
One of the participants has asked the question about Duolingo. So even do we accept Duolingo other than IELTS?
And IELTS is our core requirements, Mark, I think. That's correct, yes. Isn't it? Yeah.
There are occasionally variations from that, but the language school will guide on that. The international school will guide on that. IELTS is the default. I've never heard of anyone coming in on Duolingo.
I haven't.
But there are international equivalents to IELTS, and they have occasionally come in.
Yeah. And second question, maybe from their point of view, is even do we have the year of placement in graduation also? I mean, in this program?
We don't, with it just being a single year of study. But what we do have is good links, again, to the various departments of the university. We have a department that works with solely on volunteering opportunities. We have within our careers department, we have people who work in creating links with job opportunities and some unpaid internship opportunities. So it's not embedded in the program, but we can link you up to the departments of the university that could potentially provide that experience.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, there are another couple of questions here. Can you please discuss the scope of aeronautical engineering? I don't think you're on the right call here. This is not an engineering. What I can tell you is some of our placements are in aeronautical engineering. So I've had people who've been working with people who put wings on aircraft and nose cones, but that's a business perspective. They were business consultants. So I don't know that you're on the right call there. This is not around engineering. So I can't really comment on that. What's the ratio of UK students to international students in PG programs? The two that I'm managing, I worked it out before, 63% are international. So there's more international than home. Now, of those, we have a lot of Indians, we have a lot of Nigerians, we have some Chinese. My first Brazilians are coming this year for September. So they do come from all around the world. We have a lot of experience dealing with Indian students, but that was it this morning, yeah. So there's more international than home students, certainly on those two programs. M.Sc Management and Consultancy, M.Sc Management Sustainability are both research project in the final negotiations. There's no negotiations. Instead of doing a dissertation, you will do a real piece of work for a real company. So it is work experience, it's not negotiations. They will give you a task and collectively you will solve that task. So it could be, it's based around a problem. So they're not going to say, write me a marketing strategy. Because we're going to say, well, you've been around for 20 years without one. Why do you need one? What's the problem? Why do you suddenly need a marketing strategy? That's what we will address. So we might write you a marketing strategy as part of that, but it's all about solving problems. It's not a negotiation. Sustainability is focused on sustainability, so you do have that focus. Consultancy can be about anything. It depends what companies are coming to us with. It's been strategy this year. They've asked us for strategic problems to be solved. So I'm not sure whether that's answered that question there. I have completed my 12th grade from India. Can I go for BAM? What does that mean? Can anybody explain that? Ajay? I think you're on mute there, Ajay.
Yeah, so I mean, what exactly she is asking is she has completed her 12th and then after 12th we go for bachelor's, right? So basically that's what we are talking about. So once you have completed your 12th, generally we go for the bachelor's qualification. So it could be something called as like business BBAs and whatever courses we have, BAM and all. That's what she's asking.
Right. Well, if I've understood you correctly, and if I haven't, then stop me. A bachelor's degree starts at level 4. So your first year is level 4, your second year is level 5, and what Claire has shown you is the final year of a bachelor's degree. So the assumption is you've already done the first 2 years or the equivalent of the first 2 years of a degree. It might be with an HND, it could be with some professional qualification like Chartered Management Institute or an accountancy organization, but the equivalent of the first 2 years of a degree. So I'm not sure what level 12 means. If it means it's level 3, then the answer would be no, because you would have to start at level 4, the bottom of a degree. If a grade 12 is the same as level 5, then yes. So I'm not quite sure how that works.
Yeah. So my dear friend, basically what they are saying is, you know, as we have a 3 years of bachelor's degree in India, so the year 3, what they are calling is level 6. So it is assumed that, you know, the first and second year, that is level 4 and 5, you have completed in India, and then you are making an articulation or you're going within a pathway program to level 6, that is final year, right? So this is what is expected. So first 2 years you have completed in India, and then the final year you're going to UK for the on-campus study. So this is not 12 that what you're talking about. Okay.
I think that's all the questions that I can see.
Yeah, that's all I can see.
Somebody put their hand up before, I noticed, but I can't remember who it was. Any other questions?
Mark, if you just put the next slide on, it's just got my email address again, if anyone wants to take it down.
Okay, C.3rd. I can go back and put the other program leaders up from my earlier slide if you want.
So dear friends, for this particular presentation, we have talked about final year, and what she said is for the first 2 years, we need to have 50%, that is year 1 and year 2 in India. Then you will be articulated to year 3. This is what the program is, right? And for masters, what we are talking about is once you have complete your graduation with an average of minimum 55 to 60%, then you are eligible for the master's program, right? In both
60%
the cases,
or above.
yeah,
not 55 to 60, it's 60% or above.
and all, right. And second is, in both the cases, we require English proficiency test. For bachelor's, we are expecting 6 with no band less than 5.5. And for masters, we are talking about 6.5 with no band less than 5.5, sorry, right? So this is what the eligibility criteria is. Any more questions we have?
I would say if you've got any doubt, then send an email to me or Claire. I say I do take people onto my degree who don't have a first degree. They have management experience. And if you think you might qualify, maybe you don't have a traditional degree, but what you've got instead is a professional qualification. Maybe you're an accountant, or maybe you're a lawyer or something like that. And maybe you don't have a degree, but is that equivalent? Then drop Claire on me an email and we can deal with that one outside. Same as that question on a PhD. I think that one's probably best off handled outside this session.
Yeah, so one of the attendee has asked the question about how to join level 4 directly after grade 12. So that's what we have explained as, we as an upgrad can help you for this first 2 years, and then you will be articulated to the final year in UK, right? So for all this support of articulation, or if you want, year 1 and year 2 to be done in India, we can definitely help you, and then you will be articulated to year 3 for the university on campus, right? Fair. So we don't have more questions, Dr. Mark?
Any questions at all? Anything you'd like an answer to? Okay, let me just...
Yeah, put your email addresses on again.
I'll do that. I'm just looking for one particular slide from a different presentation. If I stop sharing my screen for a moment.
Yeah. So on behalf of upgrad study abroad, the management, myself, Ajay Gidwani, I take care of the training. I'm the head of training for the study abroad courses. So from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank Dr. Mark. I'd like to thank Claire for their wonderful interaction presentation. And thank you so much for clearing the doubts of our students. And my dear friends and my dear students, thank you so much for your time. But then if you have any doubt, any clarification, you can mark to Dr. Mark, you can send a mail to Claire, or maybe you can give us your query to us. We can definitely help you to solve your concern or solve your query from the concerned authorities, right? So let's once again summarize. We are talking about UK, one of the best destination for management degree, one of the best destination for business education, right? Whether we are talking about bachelor's or we are talking about master's, believe me, all the management thinkers, right from Peter Drucker, we have seen that it has come from UK. So one of the best hub, best destination for management education. So whether we are talking about articulation program after year 1 and year 2 in India, or we are talking about a master's program wherein you have a on-campus study 1 year and then a year of internship level, in next year, to help you for the better placement. So for all this, you can always get back to us through upgrad. You can visit our website, and also will definitely help you to support through Manchester Metropolitan University. And Dr. Mark and Dr. Claire will be very, eager to help you, to support you, and can answer you all your queries. Right,
I've just put this slide up. This was from a different presentation. It just explains what we mean by level 5, level 6, level 7. It's a way that we have in the UK of comparing, a plumber or a nurse, which is the better qualification. Maybe I'm a dentist, or maybe I put shoes together for a living, which is the better qualification. How do you compare them? And that's why we have 8 levels of qualification. It doesn't matter whether I'm working in theatre, whether I'm in drama, whether I'm in fashion or chemistry. My qualification is at this level. So the first 2 levels would be in our secondary schools, General Certificate of Secondary Education. Then you would have A levels at level 3, the International Baccalaureate that you may have heard of, that's level 3, NEBOSH, the BTEC qualification. These are pre-university level 3. Then you start your bachelor's degree at level 4. But I say there are alternatives. You might have a higher national certificate or a certificate of higher education. That's level 4 as well. Bachelor's degree second year is level 5, or you might have a higher national diploma or a diploma in higher education. So there are, again, differences. It's not necessarily I must have a bachelor's degree. Well, maybe I've got an HND instead, and that will get me onto Claire's program. Then the final year, level 6. Then you have master's degrees or a postgraduate certificate or a postgraduate diploma. then you have doctoral degrees, PhDs, MDs, DBAs, that kind of thing. It just allows us in the UK to compare nursing to somebody who works in the theatre, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping that gives you some clarity. We just kind of use this, Claire and me, because we're used to it. And we're, oh, level 6, and we kind of expect you to know automatically what it means. So hopefully that slide helps to explain. Okay.
Okay, so that's great. So I think we should now end the session with a lot of expectations that yes, many of the students would love to come to the university on campus in UK and have their flying career in the field of management, whether we are talking about the bachelor's or master's in UK, right? So thank you so much, my dear friends, my dear student, and a special thanks to Dr. Mark and Claire for giving us the time and helping us students to understand their concerns and also to understand the importance of management in their career. Thank you so much.
Thank
you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Take care.